coming down to complete the first lap then. And Tim Venables leading across the line from Mark Cringle and Scott Glenn in third, but under pressure from Andy Marriott with Scott Rowbottom tucked in behind him. Well, unfortunately, the race had to be red flagged. An injury there to Richard Green on the exit of the S's. But now we come to the restart, and once again, Mark Cringle getting away well from pole position, and Tim Venables looking as though he had a few problems there. Falls back into the pack, and I think Scott Rowbottom, yes, it is Scott, that is up into second, and Toby Glenn once again, a very special starter. Toby Glenn gets away well. He is running in third place as up over the hill they go. And we'll see him on the run down Park Straight. The pack flying along there. Ricky Chadwick we can pick up there in the pack, being chased by number 48 Andy Shim as the leaders come down through the gooseneck there. Ralph Laturco, you can pick him out easily in those yellow leathers. Down through Mansfield they come, and once more through the S's. Oh, and dumping it there all on his own, Scott Rowbottom. And goodness me, Toby Glenn getting really held up there, but he managed to avoid just rattling into Scott's bike. Scott's okay, thank goodness, but he dropped that all on his own. But Toby Glenn, well, he must have lost half a dozen places there, sort of jammed up in a little one-man bike park behind the bike of Scott Rowbottom. So Toby Glenn goes down the order as well. Good to see Scott walk away from that. Now, it'll be all change at the front. The leader should still be Mark Cringle, and you can see the gap that's opened up behind Mark due to the incident involving Scott Rowbottom, and there's a wonderful battle behind him in second. And it looks as though, yes, it's Andy Marriott who's up in a second ahead of Stuart Mitchell. Josh Wainwright's in there. Then I think it was Tim Venables in fifth place. But look at the advantage that Mark Cringle has got. And there we see the chasing pack, the yellow helmet of Tim Venables and the yellow wheels of Josh Wainwright. And Josh looks like he's got a run on Tim as they run up the hill into Chris Curve. Now we see Mark Cringle already coming down through the gooseneck. It is still Andy Marriott right up there in second place. There's Mark Cheetham running down the hill, being chased closely by Jack Sim and Ralph Laturco. That's for the TDG Cup. And Reece Rothwell running very wide on the exit of Mansfield there. But here up the front, Mark Cringle, look at the gap he's got still on the field. Andy Marriott just ahead of Stuart Mitchell as they get into the bottom of the mountain. Tim Venables chasing hard. Josh Wainwright there getting airborne in fifth place. Here they come, the flying group for effectively second place, because Mark Cringle away down the road in this one, and Josh Wainwright, very speculative look down the inside at the hairpin. So race one is Mr. Cringle, and here comes race two. This is the wild bunch. What have we got? Probably a dozen of them in there with a genuine shout, and it looks as though Stuart Mitchell's got up alongside Andy Marriott, and he may have the position. He does indeed as they come up through Coppice, and Jack's in there chasing hard in that TDG Cup section of the race for the older riders. Down Park Straight, there we see Jack won a good few races last year in the Triumph Triple Challenge, but that was when he was a Michelin Young Gun. He's now in the TDG Cup, and he's got Mark Cheetham ahead of him. He's chasing hard down through Mansfield once again. But the order up front changing. There goes the leader, but we can see that Tim Venables is now up into third place behind Stuart Mitchell, and Andy Marriott has slipped back into the clutches of Josh Wainwright. Josh still just behind him as he runs up and over the mountain. Leader goes through, and now a clear battle for second. Stuart Mitchell and Tim Venables, and there we can see Andy Marriott still trying to keep Josh Wainwright at bay. Mark Cheetham, Jack Sim down through Barn Corner, but once again across the start-finish line there, Mark Cringle. Mark's actually being pegged back by this battle for second. His leader's shrunk. You still imagine he's got enough advantage. This will be an aggregate race, of course, with the earlier part being stopped by that red flag, but you'd fancy Mark ought to be able to hang on to this, but these two behind are chasing and catching. And here, the little group behind Josh Wainwright fainting once again to pull out and overtake Andy Marriott as they run up the hill. And here's Mark Cringle in the lead. There's been a change behind. It's Tim Venables up into second place ahead of Stuart Mitchell. They run down that steep drop into Mansfield. Stuart now down into third place, but look still, the two of them have closed right down on Mark Cringle. His advantage disappeared. Up they run over the mountain once again, all three of them away from the pack. So you'd fancy the podium is between these three, whichever way, and Stuart Mitchell really pressing hard in third place to try and get back up into second. There we see Andy Marriott still being chased hard by Josh Wainwright. Then the TDG Cup battle, Mark Cheetham ahead of Jack Sim and Tom Fisher. There we see the last lap flag, and Mark Cringle will be very grateful for that. He had a huge lead a couple of laps ago, and it's gradually been eaten away. But look at this battle for second. Stuart Mitchell trying to get up alongside Tim Venables. Can't quite do it as they run from Coppice up to Charlie's. But they're battling over second. You'd fancy leaves just enough for Mark Cringle at the front. And here, well, there's Ralph Laturco still working hard in the middle of the pack. Ralph running down and around 12th place, I think, at the moment. But the leaders coming down through the gooseneck into Mansfield for the last time in this race. And look how they've closed up. Stuart Mitchell behind Tim Venables, behind the leader Mark Cringle. And there we see Ricky Chadwick still working hard in the TDG Cup. But up the front, my goodness me, Tim Venables really is winding it on. He's giving it the one last effort. There's about half a lap to go, and he goes, and he's gone. And Stuart Mitchell just avoids the fallen bike, and up gets a very chastened Tim Venables, and through a very happy Andy Marriott. He'll be in third place. He's still got Josh Wainwright, though, right with him. It's going to be the checker flag this time round as everybody avoids that stricken bike there. Mark Cringle will take another win in the Triumph Triple Challenge. There, the checkered flag. What a race. Second place and a good second to Stuart Mitchell.